Page 127. Animal disease detectives on the case. On March 23rd, 2014, the World Health Organization confirmed that an epidemic of Ebola has broken out in Guyana. 7 days later, epidemiologist Fabian Lenzar was on a plane heading to Guyana to Guinea to try to discover the cause of the epidemic. Fabian is a wildlife epidemiologist, a specialist in investigating outbreaks of diseases in animal population. Other outbreaks of Ebola in humans have been linked to epidemics in animals such as gorillas, chimpanzees, small antelopes called dukis. The disease spread to humans when hunters kill and butcher infected animals. But the village of Malindua, the first people to die of Ebola, were 2-year-old Imali and his mother, grandmother and sister. That was a clue that the virus had originated in a smaller species, one that makes its home close to human population, like bats. Fabian already knew that some bats could carry the disease without getting sick, including fruit bats that live in the forests of Guinea. If he could prove that the outbreak had spread from bats, people in the region could be warned to stay away from the animals. That helped to prevent further infection. After 4 weeks of surveying the forest around the village of Melandia, capturing bats and testing them, Fabian still hadn't found any infected animals. Then he heard something intriguing news. Villagers told him about a hollow tree near the Epeli and his family had lived, where bats used to roost. The tree had burned down shortly before the investigators arrived, but Fabian suspected that Emily could have been bitten while playing in the hollow tree or become infected through bat droppings. The bat connection. Taking evening stroll in a large city in Africa, Australia, and South Asia, you might spot something unexpectedly fluttering through the night sky, dodging between the skyscrapers and the high-rise apartments, bats. Most of the furry flying mammals are newcomers to cities, and they haven't come by choice. In some cases, the forest homes were cut down as people built new settlements or cleared land for farms. Others have ended up in cities when changing climates forced bat colonies to move in search of food, abandoning the forest in favor of nesting near human settlements. All around the world, bats and people are living closer together in big numbers than ever before. The bad news for bats, and it also spells trouble for humans, because of their unique body structure and genetics, bats are ideal carriers for viruses. The virus don't make the bat sick, but if the bat spreads the virus to other animals, the result could be devastating. Ebola is an example of a virus spread by bats that has caused epidemics in gorillas, chimpanzees, and humans. The coronavirus that causes SARS and COVID-19 may also have spread to humans from bats. Veterinary epidemiologists are realizing that to prevent new diseases from emerging to infected humans, you need to take an ecosystem approach to health, one that considers the link between weather patterns, wildlife, and humans. When humans disrupt an ecosystem, they increase the chances that a pathogen will jump from wildlife to us. Since the middle of the 20th century, the human population has expanded and the climate has gradually warmed up, causing unusual rainfall patterns that affect the availability of food for animals. When animals have to change their habitat in order to find food, it often brings them into closer contact with other species and with humans. Environmental scientists warn that this could lead to more viruses exchanged between animal species, increasing the likelihood that another virus will jump to humans. Ebola's path to patient zero. Scientists have put together a picture of the environmental conditions that led to the start of the 2014 West African Ebola outbreak using data from weather satellites high above Guyana. A long drought had recently ended the week of heavy rains. At last, the orchard and plantations that surrounded the town and villages of Guyana were full of fruit. The scent of the ripe fruit lured hungry animals out of the forest. The apes and bats crowded under the trees to feast. Fruit bats are messy eaters, and they would have scattered half-eaten fruit on the ground. An ape picking up discarded pieces of fruit could have ingested a pathogen that the bat's saliva or droppings along with the juicy lunch. And once the virus started circulating in apes, the chances increased that the virus would find its way to the humans through hunting.